The letter my father left me arrived 3 days after his funeral, and the first line read, "Son, I know about the baby, and I know it's not yours. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where it started, or maybe where it ended, depending on how you look at it. February 3rd, room 428, Sacred Heart Medical Center. The smell of antiseptic trying to cover up something deeper, something dying. My father's hospital wristband hangs loose on his wrist. Robert Miller, it says. Medical record number 847392. Admission date printed in black. 02 Arswu 3. That was 6 weeks ago. It feels like 6 years. The plastic has that hospital smell, antiseptic and resignation. I adjust it gently, and Dad's eyes flutter open. Thomas. His voice sounds like gravel in a tin can. I'm here, Dad. I'm right here. The morphine pump sits on the pole beside his bed, its digital display glowing green in the dim room. He hasn't pressed the button in 3 hours. The nurse, Maria, the night shift one with kind eyes, told me he's been refusing it during my visits. He wants to feel this, wants to be present. Where's Jennifer tonight? He asks. I check my phone. No missed calls, no texts. She said the pregnancy's been making her tired. She's resting at home. Dad's eyes focus on me, sharp, clear, cutting through the morphine haze like he's seeing something I can't. Been a lot of nights she's been too tired. Dad, don't! She's pregnant. It's hard on her. He makes a sound that might be a laugh, or might be something dying in his chest. His hand reaches for mine, and I take it. His grip is weaker than last week. The bones feel like bird bones, hollow and breakable. You're a good son, he whispers. Too good, maybe. I don't know what to say to that, so I just hold his hand. Outside, the night shift moves quietly through hallways. A cart squeaks past. Someone coughs in the next room. I've got business reports spread across the chair beside his bed. The family furniture business he built from nothing. The one I'm supposed to take over. The one I'm watching slowly collapse because I can't be in 2 places at once. How's the Morrison account? He asks, because even dying, he's thinking about the business. Marcus is handling it. My cousin, Dad's nephew. Partner in the business for the last 3 years. Dad's hand tightens on mine, just barely. Marcus? He repeats, and there's something in his voice I can't read. Then his eyes drift to the reports. You should be there, not here. I'm exactly where I need to be, Dad. The morphine pump beeps. His oxygen monitor shows 89%. Too low, but not critical, not yet. Maria appears in the doorway, checks the monitor, adjusts something, gives me a look that's half sympathy, half warning. You should go home, the look says, get some sleep. But I won't. I've spent 43 nights in this chair. Jennifer's spent maybe 7. But she's pregnant, I tell myself. She needs rest. Dad's eyes focus on me again. Where's Jennifer tonight? He asks again, like he forgot he already asked. Home, Dad. Resting. He studies my face for a long moment. You're my son, he says finally. My real son. Remember that. I squeeze his hand. I know, Dad, I know. If you've ever watched someone you love fade away while holding everything together alone, just leave the word vigil in the comments. Sometimes we need to know we're not the only ones who've carried that weight. 3 days later, I'm still in that chair when Jennifer finally comes. It's 2 p.m. on a Thursday, and she brings sunlight and perfume with her. Chanel No. 5, the one I bought her for our anniversary. She's wearing a blue maternity dress that shows off the bump. 4 months along, she says, due in July. How is he? She asks, kissing my cheek. Her lips are cold. Same, stable. Marcus walks in behind her, carrying coffee. My cousin's always been the good-looking one. 6'2", gym membership he actually uses. That smile that makes clients sign contracts. He hands me a cup. Thought you could use this, Tommy. I hate being called Tommy, and he knows it. But I take the coffee because I haven't slept in 30 hours. We came together, Jennifer explains, settling into the guest chair. Marcus offered to drive. I've been too nervous behind the wheel. Dad's eyes are open, watching, always watching. Jennifer pulls something from her purse, a small black and white photo. The edge is slightly bent. We wanted to show you something, Robert. She uses his first name, which she's never done before. Your grandchild. She holds up the sonogram. The image is grainy, abstract, could be anything if you don't know what you're looking at. But the medical information printed along the top is crystal clear. Patient name, date, estimated conception window. We found out Tuesday, Jennifer continues, her voice bright, performing. Everything looks perfect. Due date July 15th. I lean in to look at the picture, and something warm spreads through my chest despite the antiseptic smell and the beeping machines. A baby. My baby. Proof that something good can come from all this darkness. Congratulations, Tommy, Marcus says, clapping my shoulder. He leans in too, looking at the sonogram over Jennifer's shoulder, too close. His hand brushes her arm. I look at Dad, expecting joy, or at least a smile. Something. He stares at the sonogram, then at Jennifer, then at Marcus. His jaw works like he's chewing words he can't quite spit out. The oxygen monitor beeps, 87% now. Maria appears again, checks it, looks concerned. Mr. Miller, you need to stay calm, she says gently. But Dad's eyes stay locked on Marcus, just staring. Then, slowly, deliberately, he closes them. Dad? Tired, he mutters. Just tired. Jennifer touches my arm. We should let him rest. We can come back tomorrow. I'm staying, I say. She exchanges a look with Marcus, quick, almost imperceptible. Thomas, you need sleep too. You've been here for weeks. Come home, please. But I won't. Can't. So, they leave together, Jennifer's perfume lingering in the air, like a question I don't know how to ask. Dad doesn't open his eyes again for an hour. When he does, the first thing he says is, "Get me a phone, and close that door." The next afternoon, a man in a gray suit arrives. He's carrying a leather briefcase, the expensive kind with brass buckles that click when they open. Dad's been lucid all morning, refusing morphine, insisting the nurses prop him up straighter. Dad, what's this about? Private business, he says. His voice is stronger today, like he's summoning reserves from somewhere deep. Step outside, son. I'm your power of attorney. I should... Thomas. He uses the voice from when I was 12 and broke his drill. This is between me and Mr. Harrison. Give us 20 minutes. I step into the hallway, but I don't go far. Through the small window in the door, I watch the lawyer, Harrison apparently, pull documents from the briefcase. Dad's reading glasses come out, the ones with the bent frame he's refused to replace for 3 years. He reads slowly, methodically, points to something. Harrison makes a note. They talk for 18 minutes. When Harrison leaves, he nods to me, but says nothing. The briefcase clicks shut, locks. His shoes make expensive sounds on the linoleum. I go back in. Dad's lying back against the pillows, looking more tired than I've seen him in weeks. But there's something else in his face, something satisfied. What was that about? Just updating some paperwork. He waves a hand vaguely. Business stuff, estate planning. Dad, if you're changing your will, I should know. You'll know when you need to know. He reaches for my hand again, grips it with surprising strength. I've handled it, son. Everything's handled. You focus on being here, being present. That's what matters. The way he says it, everything's handled. Sounds final. Sounds like goodbye. Dad, you're scaring me. His grip loosens. Don't be scared. I'm protecting you. That's what fathers do. He pauses, studies my face. Where's Jennifer today? She had a doctor's appointment, prenatal checkup. Marcus driver again? I think so. I've been here, so... You've been here, Dad repeats. Every night, every morning. His eyes search mine. That baby, Thomas. The dates. A coughing fit cuts him off. Maria rushes in with water, checks his vitals, gives me a warning look. Enough questions. Let him rest. But after she leaves, Dad whispers, check the dates on that sonogram. Really check them. Then he presses the morphine button twice, fast, and lets the drugs pull him under. When the lawyer leaves, Dad looks at me and says, I've handled it, son. Everything's handled. That night, I can't sleep. I'm in our bedroom, mine and Jennifer's, in the house we bought 3 years ago when the business had its best quarter. She's asleep beside me, breathing deep and even. The sonogram photo sits on her nightstand, propped against a lamp. I reach for my phone, pull up the calendar, start counting backwards. The sonogram says, estimated conception window, January 10th, 17. January 10th, 17. I scroll back through my calendar. January 2nd through January 24th, it says, Seattle, Morrison expansion deal, 3 weeks. I remember because it was the longest I'd ever been away for work. I remember because Jennifer complained about it, said she'd be lonely, said it was too long. I was in Seattle for 3 weeks during the conception window. My heart does something strange in my chest. A skip, a flutter, a warning. Maybe the dates are approximate. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I flew home for a weekend and forgot. I check my email. Check my credit card statements, hotel charges, Seattle Marriott, 22 consecutive nights. No plane tickets home. No break in the charges. I was in Seattle. I wasn't home. Not for any of those days. Jennifer shifts beside me, turns over, her hand falling across my chest. I look at her sleeping face, peaceful, innocent, carrying what she says is my child. The dates don't work. I pick up the sonogram again, hold it close to the bedside lamp. The medical information is right there, printed clearly. Date of scan, March 28th. Estimated gestational age, 11 weeks, 3 days. Conception window, January 10th, 17. January 10th, 17. Jennifer knows this. She has to know. The doctor would have told her. She would have seen this information. She knows I was in Seattle. My phone buzzes, a text from Marcus. Hey man, quarterly reports ready for your review. Also wanted to check. You doing okay? I know this is rough with your dad. Let me know if you need anything. I stare at the text, at the timestamp. 2:47 a.m. Why is Marcus awake at 2:47 a.m. texting me about quarterly reports? I put the phone down, pick up the sonogram again. The numbers don't lie. Medical science doesn't lie. I was in Seattle for 3 weeks during the conception window. Jennifer knows this. 4 days pass in a blur of hospital vigils and sleepless nights. Dad's getting worse. The doctors use words like deteriorating and transitional. Jennifer comes once, stays for 40 minutes, leaves because the hospital smell makes her nauseous. Marcus visits twice, brings coffee, talks about business like, Dad's not dying right in front of us. It's March 20th, 3:15 a.m. The lights are dim, the hallway quiet except for the ventilator hissing in the next room. Maria's on shift, checking in every 30 minutes, but she's given us space. This is the time when things happen, she told me yesterday. The quiet hours, the in-between. Dad's been unconscious since yesterday afternoon. The morphine drip runs steady now. No more button pressing, no more choosing pain. His breathing is shallow, wet-sounding. The oxygen monitor hovers at 82%. I'm holding his hand when his eyes flutter open. He sees me and smiles. Actually smiles, this small, fragile thing that breaks my heart. Thomas, I'm here, Dad. Good boy. His voice is barely there. Always here. He reaches for his wrist with his other hand, fumbling with something. The watch, his pocket watch, the silver one he's worn every day since Mom died. It stopped at 3:47 p.m. 15 years ago, the moment she went, and he's never fixed it, never wound it, just wore it like a memorial. He struggles with the clasp. I help him, and he presses the watch into my palm. It's heavy, warm from his skin, worn smooth where his thumb habitually rubbed the case. Fix it, son, he whispers. Fix everything. The watch face is clouded, the hands frozen at 3:47. The engraving on the back reads, RM 1952, the year he was born. Dad, I don't... You'll understand. His breathing gets rougher. The letter. Read the letter. Everything's in the letter. What letter? But his eyes are closing again, his chest rising and falling in irregular rhythms. The monitor alarm starts beeping, oxygen at 78%. Maria appears like she's been waiting just outside, checks his vitals, looks at me with those kind, sad eyes. It won't be long now, she says softly. I lean close to Dad's ear. I love you, Dad. You're the best father anyone could ask for. His lips move, forming words so quiet I have to press my ear against his mouth to hear them. You're my real son, he breathes. My real son? Why is he saying it like that? Like he needs to convince me? Like there's doubt? His hand tightens on mine. One last squeeze, surprisingly strong. Then it loosens, goes slack. His chest rises, falls, rises slower, falls, stops. The monitor flatlines. The sound pierces the quiet like a scream. Maria moves quickly but calmly, checking pulse points, pupil response, marking the time. 3:47 a.m. The same time Mom went, the same time on the watch. "I'm so sorry, Thomas," Maria whispers. I sit there holding his hand, and the last thing I smell is Old Spice mixed with machine oil. The smell of his workshop, the one where he taught me to measure twice and cut once, where he taught me that a man's word is his bond, where he built this business and this life with his hands. The watch is heavy in my other palm, stopped at 3:47, still warm from his wrist. His last breath smells like machine oil and Old Spice, just like the workshop. Then he's gone. The funeral is on March 24th. 4 days after Dad dies, which is faster than I wanted, but Jennifer insists we need closure. St. Michael's Church, the one Dad helped rebuild after the fire in '98, the one where he married Mom. The casket is closed. I insisted on that. Let people remember him the way he was, not the way cancer left him. I'm standing in the receiving line, wearing the same black suit I wore to Mom's funeral. It still fits, barely. Jennifer stands beside me in a black dress that somehow makes her look radiant. Grief as performance art. She touches my arm every few minutes, leans into me when people offer condolences, dabs at her eyes with a tissue even though they're dry. Marcus is a pallbearer. I watch him carry the casket with 5 other men, business partners, old friends, and something about the way he does it feels wrong, too practiced, too comfortable, like he's done this before, or like he's been waiting for this. The church fills up. 300 people, maybe more. Dad knew everyone, built furniture for half the town, gave jobs to the other half. The Morrison family sits in the 3rd row. Harold, Dad's oldest business partner, sits behind us with his wife Margaret. They're both crying, real tears, not Jennifer's dry-eyed performance. Father Mackenzie gives the eulogy, talks about Dad's integrity, his craftsmanship, his loyalty. Robert Miller's word was his bond, he says, and I feel the weight of the pocket watch in my jacket pocket. I've been carrying it everywhere, though it still doesn't work, still frozen at 3:47. At the reception afterward, the church basement, folding tables, casseroles from neighbors, I catch something I'm not supposed to see. I'm standing by the coffee urn when I turn and see them by the stairwell, Marcus and Jennifer. His hand is on her lower back, fingers spread wide, thumb hooked just above her hip. It's there too long, familiar, possessive, and she doesn't move away. She leans into it slightly, turns her head toward him, and they share a look I can't quite read before she sees me watching. His hand drops. They separate. Jennifer walks toward me with a plate of cookies. "You should eat something," she says, like nothing happened. At the reception, I catch Marcus's hand on Jennifer's lower back. Too familiar, too long. The will reading is scheduled for March 29th. Harrison's office on Maple Street, the brick building with the law firm that's been there since 1947. Jennifer insists on coming. Marcus shows up too, though I don't remember inviting him. Harold is already there when we arrive, looking uncomfortable in his suit. Harrison's office smells like leather and old books. He sits behind a mahogany desk that probably cost more than my car, reading glasses perched on his nose. He has a folder in front of him, thick, official looking. "Thank you all for coming," Harrison begins. His voice has that practiced lawyer tone, carefully neutral. "This is the last will and testament of Robert James Miller, executed on March 15th of this year." March 15th, 5 days before Dad died. He changed his will 5 days before he died. Jennifer shifts beside me. Marcus leans forward in his chair. Harrison opens the folder. Robert left very specific instructions. The estate is substantial. The business, the property, the investments, everything's been carefully outlined. He pauses, looks at me over his glasses. "Thomas, your father left you everything. The business, the house, the accounts, everything." Relief floods through me, though I feel guilty for feeling it. Jennifer squeezes my hand. "However," Harrison continues, and that single word changes the air in the room, "there is a condition." "What kind of condition?" Marcus asks too quickly. Harrison reads directly from the document. All assets, properties, and business holdings transfer to Thomas Andrew Miller, provided that the child currently carried by Thomas's wife, Jennifer Marie Miller, is confirmed through DNA testing to be Thomas's biological heir within 60 days of the child's birth. Should this condition not be met, all assets transfer to the Miller Family Trust, with Thomas as sole trustee, and Jennifer Miller receives no claim to any portion of the estate. The words hang in the air like smoke. What? Jennifer's voice cracks. That's insulting. Why would Robert? It's a standard provision, Harrison interrupts smoothly, but his eyes say it's anything but standard. In estates involving minor children, confirmation of paternity protects all parties. But we're married, Jennifer says. The baby is obviously... The provision is clear. Harrison looks at me. Thomas, there's something else. Your father left a sealed package for you, to be opened privately. He slides a thick manila envelope across the desk. My name is written on it in Dad's handwriting, shaky but deliberate. The condition reads, if child born to Jennifer is DNA confirmed as Thomas's biological heir within 60 days. Marcus coughs, shifts in his seat, won't look at anyone. Jennifer's face has gone white. This is ridiculous. Thomas, you're not going to make me do a paternity test. Tell him. But I'm staring at the envelope, at Dad's handwriting, at the bulge in the middle, something more than just paper inside. We'll discuss this at home, I say quietly. Thomas, at home, Jennifer. Harrison stands, signaling the meeting is over. The will is legally binding. If you have questions about the provisions, I'm available to consult. Otherwise, we'll proceed according to Robert's instructions. In the hallway outside, Marcus grabs my arm. Tommy, this is insane. Your dad was sick, probably on heavy meds. You should contest. I pull my arm free. Don't touch me. He steps back, hands raised. I'm just saying, making Jennifer go through a paternity test, that's paranoid and cruel. My father was many things. Paranoid wasn't one of them. I walk away clutching the envelope. Behind me, I hear Jennifer and Marcus talking in urgent whispers, but I don't turn around. I walk to my car, get in, lock the doors. The envelope sits on my passenger seat like a bomb. If you've ever had everything change in one sentence, you know this feeling. Like the ground opening up beneath you and you're still falling. I don't open the envelope until I'm home. Jennifer said she's staying at her sister's tonight, needs space to process the insult of Dad's will. Her sister lives in Ohio, a 7-hour drive. She left within an hour of the will reading. I'm in Dad's study. The room still smells like him. Old Spice, leather, sawdust tracked in on boots. His desk is exactly as he left it. Coffee mug with dried rings, reading glasses, photo of Mom from their wedding day. I sit in his chair and open the envelope. Inside, a letter, handwritten on lined notebook paper, 3 pages. And beneath it, a thick spiral-bound report with Confidential Miller Investigation printed on the cover. And beneath that, a hospital wristband, Dad's, from Sacred Heart, and photographs, hotel receipts, bank statements. My hands shake as I unfold the letter. Dad's handwriting, getting shakier as the pages progress, written by a dying man who knew exactly what he was doing. March 15th, 2024. Son, I know about the baby, and I know it's not yours. I hired a private investigator 4 months ago. November 22nd, the day after Thanksgiving. You'd left for that weekend with Jennifer to visit her parents, and something Marcus said at dinner stuck with me. He mentioned knowing her schedule, knowing when she had appointments, things a business partner shouldn't know about his cousin's wife. I didn't want to believe it. God, Thomas, I didn't want it to be true, but I had to know. I had to protect you. The investigator's report is attached. I've read it 17 times. I keep hoping the words will change, but they don't. 47 documented meetings between Jennifer and Marcus over a 4-month period. Hotels, his apartment, your house when you were traveling. The timeline on the pregnancy, I've checked it myself. You were in Seattle. I remember because you called me every night from that hotel room, worried about the Morrison deal, worried about leaving me, worried about everything except what was happening in your own home. I couldn't tell you while I was alive. I was too weak, and you needed to focus on me, not this betrayal. But I've handled it. The will, the conditions, it's all a trap, son. They'll have no choice but to face the truth. Your hospital wristband is in here too, the one from the night I coded. March 14th, 9:43 p.m. You know where you were that night? Holding my hand while they shocked my heart back into rhythm. You know where Jennifer was? I had the investigator check. She was 8 miles away at the Marriott, room 447, with Marcus. While you were saving my life, she was... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're reading this. I'm sorry I can't be there to help you through it. But you're strong, Thomas. Stronger than you know. You're not losing a family, son. You're gaining your freedom. The business will survive this. You'll survive this. You're my real son. The one who stayed, the one who sacrificed, the one who held my hand when it mattered. I love you. I'm proud of you. Dad. The handwriting gets shaky at the end. The V in love trails off like he was too weak to finish the stroke. He wrote this 3 days before he died. Used whatever strength he had left to protect me. I set the letter down because my hands won't stop shaking. Pick up the investigator's report. Miller investigation summary. Client, Robert James. Miller investigation at period November 22nd, 2023, March 10th, 2024. Subjects, Jennifer Marie Miller, Doe B, 41288, and Marcus Allen Miller, Doe B, 7886. Documented meetings, 47 photographic evidence, 127 images. Financial evidence, hotel charges, gifts, restaurant expenses. I flip through the pages, photos of Jennifer and Marcus entering hotels, leaving together, time-stamped, date-stamped, his hand on her back, her laughing at something he said, getting into his car, coming out of his apartment building at 6 a.m. wearing yesterday's clothes. November 28th, Hyatt, room 512. December 3rd, Marcus's apartment, 9 p.m. 6 a.m. December 10th, your house, Thomas confirmed out of town. December 15th, Marriott, room 328. The list goes on. 47 meetings. The private investigator report. 47 documented meetings between subjects over 4-month period. And then, circled in red pen, Dad's handwriting, March 14th. March 14th, 11:47 p.m., Marriott downtown, room 447. Subjects entered together. Credit card charge to Marcus Miller, $287.50. Duration, 2 hours, 14 minutes. Beneath it, Dad wrote in the margin, Thomas at hospital. My heart stopped. He stayed. I flipped to the bank statements. Jennifer's account, the one I thought was just for her personal expenses. Deposits from Marcus, $500 here, $800 there, marked as gifts and loans. Over $12,000 in 4 months. There's a hotel receipt, paperclip to the last page. March 14th, 11:47 p.m. Marriott downtown, room 447, charged to Marcus's credit card. Dad's heart stopped at 9:43 p.m. that night. I was there. I held his hand while the nurses called the code, while they shocked him, while he gasped back to life. I called Jennifer 17 times. She didn't answer. I texted, Dad coded. They got him back. I need you. No response until 2:30 a.m. So sorry, fell asleep. Phone was on silent. Is he okay? She was 8 miles away, room 447, with Marcus. While my father's heart stopped, the letter ends. You're not losing a family, son. You're gaining your freedom. I love you. I'm proud of you. Dad. I don't sleep. Can't sleep. I spread everything across Dad's desk like I'm building a case, because I am. The investigator's report, the hotel receipts, the bank statements, the timeline. There's more I didn't see at first. Business documents, Dad's personal ledger from the shop, the green cloth-bound one he used to track orders and expenses. Certain pages are marked with yellow sticky notes. I open to the first marked page. It's from January. Marcus's name appears in the expense column, partnership draw. $8,500. Normal, expected. But there's a notation in red ink beside it. Unauthorized. I flip to the next marked page. February, partnership draw. $11,200. Red ink, no approval, no documentation. March, partnership draw. $15,300. Red ink, blood thief. Blood thief. Dad knew Marcus was embezzling. How much? I start adding. Go back through 6 months of ledgers. Find more unauthorized withdrawals, more partnership draws that should have required both signatures. Marcus was stealing from the business while Dad was dying, while I was distracted, while he was sleeping with my wife. Total $240,000. Gone. Siphoned out in increments small enough that I wouldn't notice during quarterly reviews. There's a sticky note on the last page in Dad's handwriting. Thomas, check insurance policies, check beneficiaries, check mortgage co-signer. I go to Dad's filing cabinet, pull the insurance policy, my life insurance, the one the business requires all partners to carry. $2 million policy. I've had it for 5 years. Beneficiary, Jennifer Miller, spouse. I don't remember changing it, but I must have when we got married. Standard stuff. But there's a note paper clip to it. Policy increase filed February 8th, 2024. Beneficiary confirmed, Jennifer Miller. Co-signed by Jennifer Miller. February 8th. I was in Seattle that week too. Extended trip for the Morrison expansion. Jennifer had access to my email, my documents. She could have filed the increase herself, signed my name. I checked the amount. Used to be $500,000. Now it's $2 million. She increased my life insurance by $1.5 million while pregnant with another man's child. Marcus embezzled $240,000. Dad coded it in the ledger. Blood thief. 5 days pass. I don't confront Jennifer. Don't call Marcus. Don't tell anyone what I know. I just watch, document, become someone I don't recognize. Cold, methodical, waiting. Jennifer comes back from her sister's place on April the 2nd. She's cheerful, affectionate, asks about the will like it's a minor inconvenience we'll laugh about later. Have you talked to Harrison? She asks over dinner. Pasta primavera, my favorite. Like that will fix this. About waiving that ridiculous paternity clause? Not yet. Thomas, come on. It's humiliating. What will people think? What will people think? I repeat slowly. That's what you're worried about? She reaches across the table, takes my hand. I know you're grieving. I know losing your dad is devastating, but we can't let his paranoia affect our family, our baby. She places my hand on her stomach, on the bump that's growing with someone else's child. This is your son, Thomas, your son. The warmth in my chest should be love. Instead, it's rage. Cold, crystalline rage that I swallow down and hide behind a smile. I know, I lie. You're right, I'll talk to Harrison next week. She kisses me. Thank you, I love you. Love you too. The words taste like ashes. Marcus texts me daily. Always about business, always helpful. Morrison account is solid. Don't worry about the shop. I've got it covered. Focus on yourself, man. Take the time you need. I meet him at the shop on April 5th. Dad's workshop. The one that smells like sawdust and linseed oil. Marcus is at the desk, looking through orders, playing the dutiful partner. Hey, Tommy. That smile. That fucking smile. Good to see you. How you holding up? Been better? I bet. He closes the order book, leans back in Dad's chair like he owns it. Listen, we need to talk about the business structure. With your dad gone, we should probably update the partnership agreement. Make sure everything's clear. Clear, I repeat. Yeah, like profit sharing, decision-making authority. Just housekeeping stuff. He pulls out a folder. I had our lawyer draft some papers. Just need your signature. I take the folder, flip through it. Legal jargon that I don't fully understand, but I see the numbers. 60-40 split, with Marcus as senior partner. Dad and I were 70-30, with me as senior. This changes the partnership percentage. Just reflects reality, Marcus says smoothly. I've been running things while you've been dealing with family stuff. Makes sense to recognize that, right? Right, I say, and I see it so clearly now. The plan. Get me to sign over more control while I'm grieving. Marry Jennifer after a respectful waiting period. Raise my son. Take over the business. Maybe that life insurance policy becomes relevant sooner than expected. Tragic accident in the workshop. Faulty equipment, so sorry for your loss. I need to read through it carefully, I tell him. Have my own lawyer look at it. Something flickers in his face. Annoyance maybe. But he covers it with that smile. Of course, man. Take your time. No rush. But there is rush. He's been stealing for 6 months. He needs legitimacy, needs control before I notice, before someone audits the books. At dinner, Jennifer asks if I'm okay. I smile. Everything's going to be clear soon. April 8th, late afternoon. Jennifer's at a prenatal yoga class, or so she says. I'm home early from the shop, going through her things. Not proud of it, but I'm past shame now. Her nightstand drawer, receipts, lip gloss, a journal, brown leather, 5F8, gilt-edge pages. Her handwriting with all its practice loops and curls. The kind of handwriting girls practice in high school. I shouldn't read it. I know I shouldn't. But my hands open it anyway. Flip to March. March 8th. Thomas is getting suspicious about the timeline. Need to be more careful. Marcus says not to worry. Once the baby's born, Thomas won't question it. Men don't question babies. March 12th. Robert looks terrible. Won't be long now. Almost feel bad for Thomas, but he made his choice. Could have been more ambitious, could have pushed harder in business. Marcus is what I need. Driven, confident, not content with mediocrity. Thomas is nice. Nice doesn't build empires. March 14th. They called from the hospital tonight. Robert's heart stopped. Thomas is staying there again, of course. Marcus and I have the house. We're getting sloppy, but who cares? The old man will be dead in weeks, and Thomas is too stupid to notice. Baby due in 3 months. Perfect timing. Once we're entrenched in the business and the inheritance is settled, we can figure out the next phase. For now, Thomas plays the grieving son and devoted husband. It's almost sad how good he is at it. March 14th. The night Dad coded. The night I held his hand while they shocked his heart. The night I called her 17 times. The night she was 8 miles away with Marcus. I read it 5 times. Thomas is too stupid to notice. I gave up client meetings for Dad. I slept in a hospital chair for 6 weeks. I held my father's hand when he died, and she wrote, "Too stupid to notice." Her handwriting, her words. Thomas is too stupid to notice. Baby due in 3 months. Perfect timing. I hear the garage door opening. She's home. I close the journal carefully, put it back exactly where I found it, close the drawer. Jennifer comes in, carrying her yoga mat, wearing Lululemon leggings and a smile. "Hey, honey, didn't expect you home so early." "Slow day at the shop," I say. My voice sounds normal, calm, not like I just read my death warrant in her handwriting. "Want to get takeout? I'm craving Thai." "Sure, Thai sounds good." She kisses my cheek. "You seem better today, less stressed." "Yeah," I say, and I realize it's true. I do feel better, clearer, because now I know exactly what I'm dealing with. No more doubts, no more hoping I'm wrong, just clarity, cold, perfect clarity. That night, after Thai food and small talk and her falling asleep beside me, I get up, go back to Dad's study, take out the pocket watch. It's been broken for 15 years, stopped at 3:47 the moment Mom died. Dad wore it every day like a memorial, like a reminder that time stops when you lose someone you love. I look at the back, find the small groove where the winding mechanism is. I haven't tried to fix it, haven't wanted to, really, like winding it would be betraying Dad's memory. But now, in the dark, I open the case, find the crown, wind it slowly. There's resistance. Then something catches, clicks. Tick, tick, tick. The watch is heavy in my hand, real silver, worn smooth where Dad's thumb rubbed it. It smells like his wrist, like Old Spice and skin and time. When I hold it to my ear, the ticking is steady, strong, time moving again. I wind Dad's pocket watch. It ticks, it works. It's time. The next 3 weeks are the longest of my life. I play the devoted husband, the grieving son, the distracted business partner. I smile when I'm supposed to smile. I nod when Jennifer talks about nursery colors. I sign the papers Marcus needs me to sign, after my lawyer reviews them and finds 6 different clauses that would have transferred control to Marcus within a year. "You can't sign this," my attorney says. "This isn't a partnership agreement. It's a hostile takeover." "I know," I tell him. "Send Marcus revised terms. Stall." Meanwhile, I order a prenatal paternity test, the kind they don't tell you about in parenting books. It requires Jennifer's blood sample and mine. The lab can extract fetal DNA from her bloodstream, compare it to mine. Non-invasive, definitive, legal. The hard part is getting her sample. I tell her I'm worried about genetic disorders, that Dad had a family history we should check. She believes me because she thinks I'm stupid. Goes to the clinic with me, lets them draw blood, signs the consent forms. "You're such a good dad already," she says, squeezing my hand in the waiting room. The results take 2 weeks. I don't open the envelope when it arrives, just add it to the evidence file that's growing in Dad's study. Hotel receipts, bank statements, journal entries I've photographed, Marcus's embezzlement spreadsheet, Jennifer's life insurance increase, and now this. DNA results in a sealed envelope that weighs nothing and everything. On April 29th, I schedule a meeting. Harrison's office, 2 p.m. I tell Jennifer it's to finalize the estate and waive the paternity clause. I tell Marcus it's to sign the new partnership papers. I invite Jennifer's father, Robert Sr., and her brother, Michael. Just a formality, I say. Estate stuff. Good to have family present. I don't tell them what I'm actually planning. Have you ever had to smile at someone who betrayed you? Leave a broken heart if you understand. April 29th, Harrison's office. The same leather and old book smell, the same mahogany desk. But this time, the room is crowded. Jennifer sits beside me, looking nervous but trying to hide it. She's wearing a cream maternity dress, 5 months along now, the bump pronounced. Marcus stands by the window, trying to look casual. Jennifer's father and brother sit on the opposite side. Robert Sr. is a retired Marine, still has that bearing. Michael's a high school teacher, gentle guy, looks confused about why he's here. Harold sits in the back corner, my dad's oldest business partner, the man who taught me how to read a balance sheet. I asked him to come. He doesn't know why yet, but he came anyway. Harrison sits behind his desk with several folders in front of him. He looks at me. I nod. "Thank you all for coming," Harrison begins. "Thomas has asked me to convene this meeting to address certain irregularities related to Robert Miller's estate and the family business." "Irregularities?" Marcus straightens. "What's that supposed to mean?" "If you'll let me continue." Harrison's voice has that lawyer edge now, the one that cuts. "First, regarding the paternity clause in Robert's will, Thomas has obtained the requested DNA testing. Jennifer's hand finds mine, squeezes. See, we can put this nonsense behind us." Harrison opens the first folder, slides a document across the desk. I don't move to take it. Let it sit there. The results are from GeneDx Laboratories, a certified DNA testing facility. The test was conducted using prenatal DNA extraction from maternal blood, which is legally admissible and highly accurate. "Just tell us what it says," Jennifer's father says. He sounds impatient, ready to be done with this. Harrison reads directly from the report. Probability of paternity for subject Thomas Andrew Miller, 0.0%. Subject Thomas Miller is excluded as the biological father. Secondary genetic analysis indicates the fetus shares familial genetic markers consistent with a first cousin relationship to the mother, Jennifer Marie Miller. Silence. Jennifer's hand goes slack in mine. Marcus coughs, takes a step toward the door. "What?" Jennifer's voice cracks. "That's not—" "There must be a mistake. Labs make mistakes." "There's no mistake." I speak for the first time, and my voice is steady, calm. "The baby isn't mine, Jennifer. It's Marcus's. But you both already knew that." The paternity test envelope. I slide it across the lawyer's desk. Jennifer reaches for it. 0% probability, the lawyer reads. Excluded as biological father. Jennifer's father stands up slowly, looks at his daughter. "Jennifer? Dad, this is a setup. Thomas is doing this because of grief, because of his father's paranoid. The conception window is January 10th through 17th, I continue, pulling out my phone, showing my calendar. I was in Seattle for 3 weeks, January 2nd through January 24th, every single day. Hotel records confirm it. I slide hotel statements across the desk. I wasn't home. Couldn't have been home. "Thomas?" Jennifer reaches for me. I pull away, stand up, look at Marcus. "You want to say something? Or should I?" Marcus's face has gone gray. "Tommy, listen." "Don't call me that." My voice is still calm, deadly calm. "My father called me Thomas. The people who love me call me Thomas. You don't get to use that name anymore." I turn to Harrison. He opens the second folder. In addition to the paternity issue, Harrison continues, Thomas has discovered substantial financial discrepancies in the business accounts. Over the past 6 months, Marcus Allen Miller has made unauthorized withdrawals totaling $240,000. These withdrawals were disguised as partnership draws, but lacked the required dual signature authorization. Harold stands up in the back. "What?" I hand him Dad's ledger, open to the marked pages. Dad documented everything, every unauthorized withdrawal. He knew. Marcus moves toward the door. This is bullshit. I'm leaving. You're not. Harrison's voice stops him. Thomas has filed a criminal complaint with the district attorney's office. There's a detective waiting in the lobby. You can walk out, but you won't get far. Marcus freezes. You're bluffing. I'm not. I pull out my phone, press play on a voice recording. It's from 2 weeks ago, when Marcus called me late at night, drunk, talking about the business. I asked the right questions. He gave the right answers. Marcus's voice comes through the phone speaker. Look, your dad was old school, didn't understand how business works now. That money wasn't theft, it was just early compensation. Once we restructure the partnership, it all evens out anyway. And honestly, with you distracted by family stuff, I've been running everything. I've earned it. And Jennifer, my voice asks on the recording. Drunk Marcus laughs. Jennifer gets what Jennifer wants. She wanted ambition. She wanted someone who isn't content building fucking chairs for the rest of his life. She wanted, look, Tommy, you're a good guy, but good guys finish last. You were never going to give her what she needs. I stopped the recording. Jennifer's father is staring at his daughter like he's never seen her before. Michael has his head in his hands. How long? Jennifer's father asks quietly. How long have you been sleeping with his cousin? Dad, I can explain. How long? His voice is marine sharp now. Command voice. Jennifer's crying now. Real tears. 6 months, maybe 7. I didn't mean for it to happen. Thomas was always at the hospital, always working, always choosing his father over me. He was watching his father die, Michael says softly. Jesus Christ, Jenny. Jennifer's father stands up, looks at me. I'm sorry, Thomas. I'm so goddamn sorry. He looks at his daughter. Don't call me again. Don't come to the house. You're not my daughter. Dad! But he's already walking out. Michael follows after a moment, stops to shake my hand. I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry. Then it's just us. Me, Jennifer, Marcus, Harrison, Harold. The will structure was designed for exactly this scenario, Harrison says. All assets transfer to Thomas as sole owner. Jennifer has no claim to the estate, the business, or any community property acquired during the marriage. Prenuptial agreement clause, 17 addresses, fraud, and infidelity. Marcus, you're being charged with embezzlement and fraud. The evidence has been turned over to the DA. There's one more thing, I say quietly. I pull out a printout. My life insurance policy. Someone increased the benefit from $500,000 to $2 million in February. Filed electronically using my email, signed with my electronic signature, but I didn't authorize it. I look at Jennifer. You had access to my email, my passwords. She's silent now, crying but silent. I found your journal, Jennifer. I read what you wrote. March 14th, the night my father's heart stopped. You wrote, Thomas is too stupid to notice. My voice cracks for the first time. I held my father's hand while he died. And you were 8 miles away in a hotel room with Marcus, writing about how stupid I am. Harold stands up, walks over, puts his hand on my shoulder, says nothing, just stands there. Jennifer's father walks out without speaking. Marcus tries to argue, to explain, but Harrison cuts him off. There's a Detective Morrison waiting in the lobby. You can speak to him, or you can speak to a lawyer first. Your choice. Marcus leaves, doesn't look at me, doesn't apologize, just leaves. Jennifer sits there, mascara running, one hand on her stomach. Thomas, please. I know I fucked up. I know. But we can fix this. You wrote that I was too stupid to notice, I say quietly. While my father was dying, while I was grieving, while I was trying to hold everything together. You planned this. You and Marcus. The affair, the baby, the business, maybe even my death. And you called me stupid. I didn't mean, get out. Thomas, get out of my life, Jennifer. File for divorce. Don't ask for anything. Because if you do, I'll make sure every person in this town knows exactly what you did. Every client, every neighbor, every person at St. Michael's Church. I'll make sure your name becomes a warning other men tell their sons. She stands unsteady and walks out. The room is quiet. Harrison speaks first. The business is yours, Thomas. The house, the accounts, everything. Marcus will likely face prison time. Embezzlement at that scale is a felony. Jennifer's claim to any assets is void. Your father protected you. I nod. Can't speak yet. Harold squeezes my shoulder. Robert was a smart man, smarter than any of us knew. Yeah, I manage. He was. 3 days later, I'm sitting in Dad's study when someone knocks. It's Maria, the night nurse from Sacred Heart. She's holding an envelope. Thomas, I hope I'm not intruding. I got your address from the hospital records. I know I probably shouldn't have, but your father made me promise. Promise what? She hands me the envelope. My name is written on it in Dad's shaky handwriting. He gave this to me 2 days before he passed, said to give it to you after the legal stuff was done. He said you'd know what that meant. My hands shake taking it. Thank you, Maria. He loved you very much, she says. I've seen a lot of families in that hospital, a lot of deathbeds. What you did for him, staying every night, sacrificing everything, that's rare. You were a good son, the best. After she leaves, I open the envelope. April 18th, 2024. Son, if you're reading this, it means you found the truth. It means the trap worked. It means you're free. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you while I was alive. I'm sorry you had to discover it this way. But I knew you wouldn't believe me if I just told you. You loved her. You trusted him. You needed proof, solid, undeniable proof. And I couldn't gather it all before I ran out of time. By now you know about the affair, the embezzlement, the baby, probably the life insurance too. Yes, I found that. I found everything. That's what dying gives you. Time to pay attention to details while everyone thinks you're too sick to notice. But here's what I really want to tell you. What I needed to wait until now to say. Blood is an accident. Loyalty is a choice. Real family is who stays when it costs them something. Marcus is blood. My nephew, your cousin. But he's not family. He chose greed and betrayal. Jennifer was supposed to be family through marriage, but she chose ambition over integrity. You know who's family? Harold, who came to the hospital every week, even though it terrified him to see me like that. Maria, who held my hand when the pain was too much and you'd gone home to shower. The guys at the shop who kept orders flowing when you couldn't be there. The people who stayed when it cost them something. That's your real family, Thomas. That's your inheritance. Not money, not the business, though you'll have both. Your real inheritance is knowing the difference between people who stay and people who take. You're going to be okay, better than okay. You're going to rebuild with people who deserve you. You're going to find someone who loves you for staying, not for what you can give them. And son, find your family, the real one. Choose them, build with them. That's what I did with your mother. She wasn't born into my family. We built a family together. That's the legacy I want to leave you, the knowledge that family is built, not born. I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm sorry I won't be there to see what you build next. But I know it'll be something good, something honest. A man's word is his bond. You taught me that I could trust yours. Now, find people whose word you can trust. That's how you build a life worth living. You have that family already, son. You've always had it. Choose them. Dad. I read it 3 times. By the 3rd time, I'm crying, real, full sobs that come from somewhere deep. Not grief this time, not rage, something else. Relief, maybe, or permission. Permission to let go of blood ties that poisoned me. Permission to choose my own family. The letter, real family is who stays when it costs them something. You have that family. 2 months later, June 15th. Morning sun through the workshop windows, dust motes floating in beams of light. The smell is the same as always. Sawdust, linseed oil, coffee from the pot that's been running since 6 a.m. Dad's tools hang on the pegboard, organized by size, everything in its place. I'm teaching Danny how to use the bandsaw. He's 19, just graduated high school, wants to learn the trade. His dad walked out when he was 8. His mom works 2 jobs. He needs someone to teach him that work has dignity, that building something with your hands means something. Measure twice, I tell him, watching him mark the wood. Cut once, he finishes, grinning. I know, you've told me like 50 times. I'll tell you 50 more. This isn't advice, it's religion. He laughs, makes the cut, perfect and clean. The kid's got natural talent, steady hands, good eye. Most importantly, he shows up. Every day on time, ready to learn. That's what matters. Harold comes in around 9:30 with Margaret. They've been stopping by every few days, checking on me, bringing food, making sure I'm not alone. Found family. That's what Dad called it. Looking good, Thomas, Harold says, inspecting Danny's work. Kid's learning fast. He's got it, I agree. Margaret hugs me. You eating enough? You look thin. I'm eating, Margaret, I promise. She doesn't believe me, but drops it. That's love too, knowing when to push and when to let it be. Danny's working on a commission, a dining table for the Hendersons, the couple on Oak Street. They're in their 70s, married 52 years, still hold hands at the grocery store. That's the kind of love I want to build furniture for. The kind that lasts. Dad's pocket watch sits on the workbench. I wind it every morning now. It ticks steadily, keeping time, keeping me company. The sound is comforting, constant. Danny, break time, I say. Let's talk about the Henderson job. We sit on the bench outside, the one Dad built 30 years ago. Coffee in paper cups, sun on our faces. Inside, I can hear Harold and Margaret talking quietly. Probably about me, probably worried. Let them worry. It means they care. You ever think about family? I ask Danny. He shrugs. Sometimes. Mine's complicated. Most families are, but here's something my dad taught me, something I'm still learning. Family isn't who you're born to. It's who chooses to stay when it costs them something. Danny thinks about that. Like Harold? He's not your dad, but he acts like it. Exactly like Harold, and Margaret, and Maria from the hospice. She still calls to check on me. Even you, showing up every day, learning this trade that nobody thinks matters anymore. That's family too. You really believe that? I do now. Took me a while. Took losing the people I thought were family to see the ones who actually are. We sit in comfortable silence. Inside, the bandsaw starts up, Harold showing Margaret something, her laugh carrying through the windows. The sound makes me smile. My dad used to say, I tell Danny, and my voice catches slightly on Dad, but I push through. A man's word is his bond. You know what that means? Like keeping promises? Deeper than that. It means your word is your identity. If you say you'll do something, you do it. If you commit to someone, you stay committed. If you tell someone they matter, you prove it with your actions. That's what a bond is, not paper, not contracts. It's your integrity made visible. Danny nods slowly. So, when people break their word, they break the bond, break trust. And trust is the only thing you can't rebuild once it's shattered. I look at him. But you know what you can do? You can find people whose word means something, build with them instead. Is that what you're doing, building again? Yeah, I say, and I realize it's true. That's exactly what I'm doing. We finish our coffee, go back inside. The workshop smells like sawdust and new wood and possibility. Dad's watch ticks on the bench, time moving forward. Harold's working on a chair repair, Mrs. Patterson's dining set, the one that's been in her family for 3 generations. Margaret's sketching a design for a bookshelf. Danny's back at the band saw, measuring twice. This is my inheritance. Not the building, not the bank accounts. This. People who stay. People who build. People whose word means something. I pick up Dad's watch, hold it to my ear. The ticking is steady, strong, relentless, like a heartbeat, like time moving forward whether you're ready or not. Danny, I call out. He looks up from his work. You're doing good, kid. Really good. Your cut lines are getting cleaner. He grins, embarrassed but pleased. Thanks, Thomas. And Danny, thanks for showing up. Every day. That matters more than you know. Where else would I be? He asks, like it's obvious. And maybe it is. Maybe that's what family does. Shows up, stays, builds. I set the watch back on the bench where I can see it while I work. The hands move steadily. 9:47 a.m. Time that stopped for 15 years is moving again. Dad's voice in my head, or maybe it's my voice now, carrying his words forward. A man's word is his bond. I look around the workshop, Harold measuring lumber, Margaret sketching, Danny cutting clean lines, sun through dusty windows, the smell of wood and oil and coffee, the sound of work, of building, of life continuing. This is what Dad left me. Not money, not even the business, really. He left me the ability to see who matters, the wisdom to choose family instead of accepting the one you're born with, the strength to rebuild after everything falls apart. And he left me this: the knowledge that time stops when you lose someone, but eventually, if you're lucky, if you're willing, it starts again. The watch ticks. I pick up my tools. I get back to work. Thomas learned that real inheritance isn't money or business or even blood. It's character and the family you choose. His father gave him that gift from beyond the grave. So here's my question for you. What's the most important thing someone left you? Not materially, but in terms of wisdom or character? And who's the person you'd trust to be your found family if everything fell apart? Share your story in the comments. Let's build a community of people who understand that family isn't who you're born to, it's who chooses to stay. And if this story meant something to you, if you saw yourself in Thomas or in the people who stayed with him, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes we need permission to choose our own family. Maybe this story gives someone that permission. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.